acres, welcome back. So today we're going to talk about how to dry your firewood fast. And when I say fast, I'm talking relatively speaking, because firewood takes forever to dry out. Most people say to truly season your firewood it takes at least 12 months. Some people say 12 to 18 months. But this firewood here I cut and split 3 months ago. We're going to crack it open and see what its moisture is rated at right now. So I'm sure most of you already know what this is. This is a moisture meter. They're really cheap on Amazon. I think you get them for $10, $20, $30, something like that. But they're a really useful tool. What they allow you to do is measure the amount of moisture content that's in your firewood before you ever get it to the wood stove. If you're burning in these new EPA certified wood stoves that you can really damper them down and shut off the air control, you really need to have dry firewood to go in them. And in those wood stoves, you're shooting for under 20% moisture content. Otherwise, it's just gonna sit there and smolder all night long, and it's never really gonna burn that well, and you're gonna be creating a lot of smoke up your chimney. But anyway, this section of the wood pile here is that sugar maple that we took down in March with the tractor. It was that Widowmaker that was hung up there. We tried pulling it down with the side-by-side, couldn't get it down, ended up yanking it down with the tractor, no problem. But yeah, this was from March here, so it's been out 3 to 4 months. We'll just give you an idea how quickly wood dries out. There you go, there's that signature sugar maple bark. Now I'm gonna test the outside of this, that it's been like this for the last 3 months, and show you what the difference is between the outside of the wood that's been exposed, and then we're gonna split it open and show you the inside. So right there, it's reading 0.0%. Stick it in the wood, and it is reading 12% moisture. So it all sounds good, right? Well, once we open this up, it's gonna be a lot higher than that. All right, so this is the old side. So this one's reading 19%. This is the new side we just split open. Right there, 35% is still what this is reading on the inside of this wood. So if you were to just test the outside of this, you'd throw it in your wood stove and you wouldn't have very much luck burning it. So in my opinion, there really isn't a good way to dry your firewood fast per se, with the exception of maybe getting a kiln, spending a ton of money on a kiln, and then you'd have operating costs to run the kiln, and that just doesn't make sense to spend money to dry firewood in my opinion. But with that said, there are a lot of things you can do to help your firewood dry faster than just throwing it in a big heaping pile. The first one is obviously stacking it, getting it up off the ground. I stack all mine in 2 rows on pallets all the way down there. The second thing would be the direction that you have your wood piles facing. I have all my wood piles facing west so they catch that evening sun. It's been about 90 degrees here all this week, and it's going to be in the low 90s all this week coming up. So this evening sun that these wood piles are catching is really helping dry them out quick. The third thing, in my opinion, would be to have it out in the open. You know, right here, I've got this sitting up on top of a hill. This drops down probably about 75 feet as it goes down over that hill there. So there's a lot of room for that wind to pick up speed as it comes up towards this wood pile and then blows right through the wood pile and helps dry it out. You can see all the checking and everything that's going on in these logs here. So they're drying out real nicely, but like I just showed you, they're still at 35% moisture, so they're still not ready to burn just yet. Another thing that I've heard is that any wood you plan on burning this winter, you should have already had cut, split, and stacked by Easter. The best 2 drying times for firewood throughout the year are spring and fall. That's when the humidity is usually the lowest, and it's also the windiest. That really allows that wind to get in there, dry those firewood piles out. That's when they check the most. And if you think about it, that kind of makes sense. For our area here, we rarely have burn warnings, but when we do, it's usually in the spring and it's usually in the fall when those winds really kick up and there's low humidity. All right, so let's recap. Top things you can do to dry your firewood relatively fast: stack it, get it up off the ground on pallets, have it facing west towards the evening sun, get as long of a stretch of open field as you can before your firewood pile so wind has a chance to pick up speed to hit your piles. And finally, and most importantly, you want to make sure you give your firewood plenty of time to dry out. Like I said, I think you should be shooting to have all your firewood split and stacked by Easter for the following winter. But anyway, I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, give me a thumbs up, click that subscribe button, and check out some other videos. Thanks for watching.